Good morning, Infinity. Y'all, we are here and we're ready to start today's service. Good to see the smiling faces in the place. Good to see people at home. It's time for us to open the way for spirit today, and we're delightfully doing that through a meditative space that we call perming, pouring energy into realignment for manifestation. I'm just going to ask that you take a nice upright position so that your body can get some airflow, and just take a few deep breaths on your own, inhaling and exhaling through your nose, recognizing that with all that we face in the world, with all that it took for us to even get here today, there's a lot of adrenaline that may be rocking and rolling in our bodies. We know that if you are in person today, I guarantee you that you dealt with some adrenaline on I-24 or I-65 or I-40 or some of these streets out here that have grown to be quite a patience testing exercise. So we're just going to release all of those people bobbing and weaving, racing and dragging into the exhale. So take an inhale and an exhale. Allow those eyes to close. At home, go ahead and allow those eyes to gently close from top to bottom. And just allow yourself to be in a vibration of stillness and goodness as we continue to release the tension that we brought with us into the space today. The opening of the way is about releasing and letting go of those things that no longer serve us. And so as you inhale, inhale the good, inhale the light, inhale the love, inhale the color green of nurturing. As you exhale, let go of anything that does not serve you anymore. And from this space of divine stillness, we ask that all heads now be bowed as we open our hearts to God. And as we acknowledge God's presence in this space today, the God of your own acceptance and understanding, that I, as a spiritual guide in this moment, would not be too bold or possessive of enough hubris to define for you, but to celebrate with you that name, that culture, that energy that animates all of us, that energy that makes it so that in this little globe that we call the earth, we are all breathing that same air. We are all living in spirit. And so from this space of awareness, we pray today. All wise and all knowing and all loving God, we give thanks in this moment today for the gathering of Infinity Fellowship. We give thanks for those who went through the highways and the byways to arrive here, those who are on the way, and those who are joining us from around the world online. We give thanks for the consciousness from the moment that we got up this morning, the recognition that yesterday is gone and today we got another shot at it. And though we may had some dark times in the night before, we are now walking in the light. We are now walking in the light of present consciousness, and we have the opportunity here to celebrate because we are grateful. Thank you for the breath that is in our body right now. Thank you for the right mind. Thank you for the right vibratory spirit. And from this space, we pronounce good that we send into our families today. And we speak that good into our children as they are growing today. We speak that love into our young adults as they are becoming who they are born to be, walking in their divine purpose today. We speak that love and that energy and that empowerment into our dreams today, into those very specific and special things that you gave us as earthly gifts to manifest your divine light. We speak that they will explode, that they will expand, that they will continue to transcend any current state where they are held back. Thank you for this light that is shining within the people gathered here today. Thank you for the people around the world who are standing at the cusp of healing. We speak healing over our brothers and our sisters on the Hawaiian island of Maui today. We read on the news this morning that the island is opening back up to tourists, and that people as a result are caught in between in a space where they want people to come so their economy can be strong, but many of them now are being displaced in favor of new people. So we speak that balance will come to that space today, that people will continue to open their homes and their spaces and their timeshares and their condos to first and foremost make sure that the people who live on that island are taken care of, that they can open their hearts then to the world so that we may continue to pour into our brothers and sisters there. We speak a special blast of love, gratitude to the spaces in Israel and Palestine now, where lives are being taken and polarization has taken root to the point where people are finding any and every excuse to send people out of this world. But we know that you have the power to stay this violence right now. We know that you have the power to heal these conflicts right now. And so we speak your protection over that region of the world. We speak your protection over this region of the world, this city, this state, this nation, as we are striving to be a place where we proclaim to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. But we want to reach that ideal, and we want to manifest that now so that the downtrodden, so that the poor, so that those who are struggling to make a way can recognize that through you, all things are possible, that we are the agents of change assigned in this time, in this era of change, to be exactly that. We speak a special blessing of gratitude over the Infinity Fellowship. We are so grateful that we have been able to see 9 years of existence. And now we are squarely working into our 10th year, double digits, oh God. What a wonderful way to express ourselves as a community that we can hand off to people who will live beyond us. All of these things lead us back to you. All of these things affirm that you have never left us, that you will always be with us. And in those moments in the late midnight hour where we feel like we are confused, that we are hurt, that we are lost, we can always turn to you in moments like these and have our hearts rest assured that all things are working in our favor. We speak and proclaim these things to be true, and may something be said or shared in this service that reminds people that we are always present with you and you with us. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. And so it is. Let us prepare for our pouring of libations. Who's going to be my young person who's going to help me pour today? I see some nice, incredible young people out there who might want to help me pour today. Do I have a volunteer that wants to come up? I'm looking at Yanni and Cassidy. Can I get Cassidy to come up for me? Come on, my darling. Y'all give her a round of applause in this place. We ain't just going to snap. Come on up, Cassidy. Cassidy's going to come up, baby. And you remember how we do this. You step over there on the other side of the basket and you hold the water. And when we pour, we're going to say Ashe, and we're just going to pour just a little bit of the water out into the plant, right? All right. See, hadn't she grown up, y'all? Little bitty baby. I remember when she was a baby, and now she's a strong young lady. That's why we bring them into the ritual to understand that this is the moment where we recognize the spirits, the energies of those who have gone before. We call them ancestors. Some people call them angels. Some people call them forces of nature. But we recognize when we remember them and call their names aloud that they never die, that they stay with us. So as we pour the water that represents the living into the earth that represents what's going to happen to these earth suits when we don't no longer need them. When it's not Reverend Jeff and Cassidy and we just not here anymore, but we're one with the cosmos, and it's a beautiful time. And so we say, cool water, freshen our spirits. Ashe. All right. Freshen and consecrate this house. Ashe. A little bit at a time. Here we go. Come on, hold it right over there. There we go. There we go. Freshen our collective ancestors, Ashe. We give praise to Almighty Mother God, Divine Source and Creation. Ashe. To Father God, Divine Source and Creation. Ashe. Grant to us peace and prosperity. Ashe. Oh, yeah, there you go, Cassidy. We pour to the energies of the north where we find our direction, Ashe. To the south where we find our grounding and who we are, Ashe. To the rising sun of the east and recognizing that today's a brand new day, and no matter what happened yesterday, we got another shot to do it again today, Ashe. To the energies of the west, recognizing that even in the darkness, just like at night, the moon and the stars are there to guide us, Ashe. To the ground below us, recognizing that as the tree is rooted, even when the storm comes, it may bend, but it won't break, Ashe. To the sky above us and that space where we see our landscape of dreams, then we have the ability to pull them into reality, Ashe. And to the heart space, the central station of everything, where all of the light lives within us, and we celebrate it today, Ashe. All right, now we ask from this point that we begin to call aloud the names of the ancestors. If you're at home, you can type them into the box and just think about those people. Today, I'm dressed like my granddaddy, Thomas Hayes, Big Papa. He was a field hand in the days back when you got ready to go for church. Sometimes you just got your best pair of overalls and your bow tie. We're talking about memory today, an institutional memory. And so whenever I put on my overalls, I think about my granddaddy, Big Papa, and the songs that they used to sing in that little old church. We're going to come to that. But I want y'all to think about those people that pop in your head and call their names aloud as we pour these next few pours of water. Ashe, call their name on it right there. Haywood H. Carr, Thomas and Bessie Hayes, Ellen A. Carr, all those ancestors on the Hayes side, our side, all those ancestors on the world, the Davis family. And as those names come, we pour 3 more times for the children in the world, womb, and yet unborn. Ashe, 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 oh. And so it is. Y'all give it up for Cassidy. High five me, baby. High five me. Good job. Good job. Good job. Oh, yes. How wonderful it is to have our young people involved. Great job, Cass. That's her first time pouring libations for us, baby. She's going to be fired up today. She's going to be walking around with all the energy of the ancestors on her. So we're looking for great things. That's straight A's in school this week, baby. Straight A's in school. Today's meditation comes to us from one of our great spiritual teachers who actually created the concept of science of mind. And we read that a lot, especially our first year. We went through that a lot, the actual book, Science of Mind. But it comes to us from Ernest Holmes, who reminds us that love is within us. It cannot be destroyed. It can be ignored. To the extent that we abandon love, we will feel it has abandoned us. Denying love is our only problem, and embracing it is the only answer. Through the power of love, we can let go of past history and begin again. Love heals, forgives, and makes whole. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Deep breath in. Exhale, let that go. Awesome. Sister Lady Kenitha's going to come up as the old days. She's going to lead us through our statement of infinitude. Y'all give us some snap, 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 snaps. I love it.
Well, good morning. Happy anniversary, everybody. As we welcome you to the Infinity Fellowship, we pause to remind you of the core principles of our gathering. We call it SNAP. The S in SNAP is for spirituality that transcends religion and connects you to the God of your own understanding. The N is for nurturing of ourselves and others, mind, body, and spirit. The A is for action, because we take action on our callings and walk in our divine purpose every day. And finally, y'all, this is important. The P is for the proof. that our spiritual practices manifest fruit in our lives through the building and maintaining of healthy and prosperous families, relationships, careers, and dreams. We are grateful that you all are here as unique manifestations of our Creator, the loving, living spirit of our commonality, the divine source of all creation, perceived by many names, yet known by only one energy. This is the foundational practice of true interspirituality, where all are affirmed in love energy. So I invite you all at home and in the space to stand with me and join me in our statement of infinitude. We agree that we are beings of pure, eternal spirit, birthed from the creative potential of the universe, with all the powers of the Creator inherent within us. We embrace the innate goodness of humankind and an abundant creation that provides for us through the seeds that we plant in our everyday lives. We acknowledge that who we are is housed in a temporary biological organism, and as such, it is our responsibility to take care of it because it will only last for a precious window of time. As we nurture ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, we commit to provide like acts of nurturing for our fellow brothers and sisters of the world we live in, embracing all regardless of religious faith, skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic background. All are truly welcome at infinity. We agree and accept that various religions exist as a unique opportunity for humanity to get to know one another through meaningful conversations that seek to explore the core concepts we share in common. It is the application of ancient wisdom, scientific discovery, and spiritual practices, both physical and metaphysical, that will lead us closer together as a human family. We commit to exist now and ever as a beloved community. Let it be so according to the many ancient terms of affirmation. Amen, Amin, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe.
Ashe. Let's remain standing on that because we can generate some gratitude in this place today. And we generate that gratitude by singing a song that says good morning. And at the end of the song, we go around and we find 2 or 3 people and we say, my name is, and here's one thing that I am grateful for. So I guarantee you, gratitude is infectious. You could have come in here with a heavy heart, but when you come in and say, you know what, I'm grateful that I have emotions that I can feel and that I can get in touch with. We're going to give one thing. Yeah, come on, y'all. Let's hear it. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you.
And we say, da 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 da
All right, let's go. 2 people, find 2, 3 people. Let them know one thing that you are grateful for.
A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning. Type in what you're grateful for this good morning. It is our 9th anniversary. I know I'm grateful for it. I know you all are too. And to those who are new, please type in what you're grateful for as well. If this is the first time of you watching Infinity, hey, we're happy to see y'all. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
morning, Infinity. Let us carry this gratitude energy into our sacred moment of action where we affirm the powerful frequency of giving in this space. Okay, let's say together our offertory affirmation. Oh, stand with me, please.
Yes. We got it.
A limitless, abundant creator, source of everything I possess. You have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference, and so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken. And so it is.
Now our slide is up. You can give via PayPal, via Cash App, via snail mail. Let's get it going. At home and abroad. Let's pour it back into the world.
Everything is good, yeah. Everything is good, yes it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, yeah. Everything is good, yeah. Everything is good, yeah. Everything is good, yeah. Everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything. Yes, it is. Oh, everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, sing with me now. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it good. I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it good. I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it good.
All right, snap it up, snap it up, snap it up. You got it good. We've got it good in that place today. We're excited now to welcome you. It's that part where we welcome each other. We welcome our first-time visitors, and we've got visitors who are online. So if you're online, you're a first-timer. Go ahead and type first time in that box. And then everybody who's online will shower you with love and affection because that's the way we do it in the space today. This is also a quick early warning on our standing ovations. We know some of you have something that you want to report. That's awesome. So just get one of the standing ovation forms in the back, fill it out, and bring it up and put it in the red jar on the table to my right, to your left, so we can celebrate whatever your accomplishment is, whatever your good moment of gratitude is. We can blast that out across the world. That's how we do that there. Good morning again, Infinity. My name is Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr, Rev Jeff in the space. This is where I get a chance to let you know that we see you. And we see who you are. We see all of the 5 W's, who, what, where, when, and why, because we see you ultimately as what you are. You're not a human being who just showed up to have a spiritual experience today, but you're a spirit that's navigating the human experience, just like the rest of us. And so we like to show each other how we see each other beyond these physical earth suits, and this is the powerful moment where we do it. So if you're at home, go ahead and put your hands to the screen or take a deep breath If you're with somebody, turn to somebody, grab your kids, and just say, "Hey, look, look, look. I know it's Sunday morning. We watching online, but I got something I need to tell you. Get in here. This is for you for the rest of your week." Everybody here, just stand where you are and turn to somebody and repeat after me. I see you, but you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You're more than what's on the outside. You are a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me, where I can let you know, if nobody else will, that you're not alone. I'm with you and you're at home. I see when you are. You're in the right now, baby. You are so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I'm here to do the same thing. So we're going to help each other out. All right? All right? I know the real you, and I see you shining today. I feel you shining today. I know you're shining today. So welcome to infinity. Welcome home. Asheo. As you're dancing it out, we're going to take a brief coffee break. But if you're at home, I want you to scan that QR code that you see on the screen right now. And as you have that code up, I want you to visit that form and I want you to fill it out. And I want you to know that we're going to reach out to you, just send you a love note. Then we're going to send you a little gift that you can get, that you can bring back in, or you can bring in the love note, you'll get the gift. But listen, we're going to come talk to you for a second. Our infinite streamers, important things to share with you. But in this space today, we want to say we love you. So we're looking forward to seeing you in person one day at the Infinity Fellowship. So it is. I'll see you in a minute. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, get yourself ready. Got to unmute my mic first. Hey, everybody, this is Rev Jeff, and I usually take a break during this time to get myself a little cup of coffee during service and also give you a chance to get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. I want to say hello to everybody who's coming in on the box today. I see you, Brother Tyrell. I see you, Michelle Mayberry. I see you, Christina. I see a ton of people. I just can't scroll through like I could in the big space in there. But it's great to see you, Christy. Good to see everybody. Listen, there are a couple of things that I want you to do during this break as you're getting your juice and getting your water and preparing for today's message and the energy that's going to be coming out of Infinity today. We want to remind you that next week is homecoming week at Infinity. So through the course of 9 years, we've had a lot of people come, we've had a lot of people go, we've had a lot of people stay. Those three categories of people we're calling to see you next week. We want to see you in person. So no matter if you came to our very first service in Actors Bridge Studio in the back door 9 years ago on the 5th of October in 2014, or whether you've come by at some point during the pandemic and watched us online but wanted to have the experience of in person, we are reminding you that on next Sunday it's homecoming. So come on and come. We got food for you. We got our potluck dinner afterwards. We're going to be going through some slides from some of our days and our journey. So I'm inviting you to make the commitment to show up next week in person and see what it feels like. See what you like about the Infinity Fellowship. Things will be changing and shifting for November and for December at Infinity Fellowship. I'm going to be making that announcement in just a minute. But I'm going to look forward to seeing you all in person on first Sundays in those months. But for our infinite streamers, we're counting on you wherever you are in the world to help us amplify this message. So hit the retweet button, hit the like button, hit the share button. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, wherever you may be, invite someone, tag someone that you know may want to deepen their spiritual practice with community, and let them know that we're here and that we're ready to help people grow in purpose and in love. So I'm going back in here so we can get ready for the rest of the service. I'll see you in a minute. I love you guys. That's a fact you cannot change. See you in a minute. All right, y'all. Let's see what's going on. We got a couple of things that we want to note that we're happy about. We're excited that we got the Sadler family in the house from Mississippi. We got them all the way up from M.I. crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. Y'all don't know nothing about that. I'm full out country today. I'm wearing my granddaddy on me. That's how we used to learn how to spell back in the day, and that's how we used to master that. You know, I'm telling you, as one of the city's spelling bee champions, I was hoping to get the word Mississippi. I was ready to do that. The secret cultural way of spelling it. But we're here, y'all, in October. We're so excited. This is the 10th month out of 12 in the year of Transcendence. It's also our anniversary. So 10th month, starting our 10th year. Remind you that that definition of transcendence means to exist or to go beyond the range of. So whatever place you find yourself in, you have the opportunity to transcend with your mind. And so it's a powerful spiritual practice that we've been stressing every Sunday. We've been stressing in every interaction. And that is that you don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. You have an opportunity to grow. And you were meant to grow. You were meant to rise together. Our mantra is, even from the ashes, I rise. Let's say that together. Rise. Oh, that's awesome. Before we get to standing ovation, I see we got a jar full of standing ovations, which is always a beautiful thing to have. There's nothing like gratitude, to be able to celebrate ourselves and celebrate other people. Before we get to that, we want to remind you of a couple of things. October is anniversary month. We got 5 Sundays in October, so we're going to chock them full of things. Next Sunday is homecoming. So homecoming is potluck. Everybody who's ever been a part of Infinity, y'all come on and show up at any given time. Even if you stuck your head in the door one day and just said, you know, I got there too early or too late for the service. We had somebody come and say, I thought it was a 11 o'clock service. And so I thought if I got there at 11:45, I'd be right in the middle of it. And I said, well, no, we have a 10 o'clock service, and 11:45, we're going to be out of here. So come back again. And so if you were in that category, then, of course, next Sunday is for you. We do have our sweat lodge that we're going to build on Friday, October 27th. So if you've never had the opportunity to sweat with us, please make your plans to get up here and have that spiritual experience. You have never experienced something like being a part of nature in a place where you get to know who you are, where you get to pray and call out to the God of your acceptance and understanding and get an answer some kind of way. So we're looking forward to bringing that tradition back to Infinity Fellowship. That's Friday, October 27th. Mark your calendar. In the band app that we have, men especially, I'm calling on you to help us build this. There's a tradition where we actually have to go to the woods and we have to cut some things down and we have to put some skin in the game. Ladies, Sister Kenitha is going to lead you through the prayer tie ceremony as well. So it's an educational opportunity, a way to put spiritual practice into a profound medium. Our membership meeting is 5th Sunday. So in lieu of service, we're going to have our membership meeting here. It will be available as well live in the band app for those who are not physically present. But we are going to go through our financials for the year. We're going to go through our announcements for the year. We're going to go through setting up committees for the year. And that's going to help us be strong. So we appreciate you all. We appreciate your contributions. We appreciate your everything that you contribute to Infinity Fellowship in the physical body and the spiritual body as well. 5th Sunday. Membership meeting, mark that. We do have a change for November and December in our services, and I want to personally thank each and every one of y'all. I ain't gonna get emotional till we sing, because we're gonna sing in a minute, and sadly, I'm gonna try to hold it together when we sing, but actually, you know what? I ain't gonna try to hold it together. That's what singing is about. We're gonna sing an old one from the old days, but when I think about it, I think about how much gratitude I have for everybody in this room and online. We had a very honest conversation in the band app with you all about where we are as spiritual leaders and also where we want to see Infinity go. And so I want to thank you all for that opportunity to be honest and transparent. We want you all to know that, you know, many times we're right where you are. And that's why the African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go long, you go together. So we're going to continue to go together, and we're going to make an adjustment in our schedule for Sunday services in November and December. First Sunday, we're going to be in person, fully in person, just like today. The other 3 Sundays, second, third, and fourth Sundays, we will be virtual. Virtual. Staff will still be here to make sure that this signal goes out around the world. But for us in the space today, we want to make sure that we gather on those first Sundays and we just get that physical community in and recharge. Second, third, and fourth Sunday, we're still going to be there. And then we still have Wednesday night on the band app with Love and Light with the Lensleys. So we have an awesome time. So I appreciate personally. And on behalf of Lady Kenitha, I know I can say this because we've talked about it. And so because we talked about it, she's given me permission to say it. And to my youngsters out there who are thinking about marriage one day, I'll give you the best advice. Never speak for your spouse without figuring things out first. You will learn. Always check in. Make sure if you're in a relationship. That's how that goes. But we can say that we're very, very grateful for you all, for the embracing of our family and embracing of our hearts and where we are and the space that we need to grow and to expand and to recharge and to rejuvenate. And guess what? Great things are ahead. There's no stopping us now. Lady Kenitha, come on up. We're going to get this standing ovations going because it is time for Standing Ovations.
All right. Okay, so it's time for standing ovations. Our high energy here at IF comes from our practice of snap. It's why we snap our fingers during this part of the service. We receive practical lessons and tools for our individual journeys at spirituality. We fellowship with like-minded spirits every week. That's nurturing. We take what we learn and apply it in our lives. That's action. And if we do these, then every week we see examples of progress in our lives. That's true. That's the proof, y'all. So let us pause to enjoy a collective moment of manifestation and expansion. So this is what will happen. When your name is called, please stand as I read aloud your manifestation. When I finish each person's ovation, we will all snap our fingers to celebrate and affirm them, and then provide a collective standing ovation at the end. All right, here we go. So our first one is Zola, and she's downstairs, and she says, I am almost 7. Okay. I know that. Zola wants to make sure, honey. She always tells me she likes to make it clear, honey. She likes being older, honey. All right, our next person is Zora Brown, who is downstairs. Zora. She says, I have been an only child, for the past 4 days. I'm loving it, exclamation points. She has 2 other siblings, so she's enjoying being by herself. I know that's right, huh? She said, I'm loving it, honey, exclamation point. She gets everything, huh? Is that what? This is from Kavaya. She's downstairs. All of our babies. They're just right stuff. Kavaya said, I got a 100 on my Spanish quiz and a 100 on my environmental science quiz. And she's in high school, y'all. So these are high school level courses. Go, Kavaya! Yes, 100 Spanish. Come on, man. Oh, here's DJ. Go on and stand up, DJ.
Come on, DJ.
And that's a DJ. Go, DJ. And that's a DJ.
You know we love you, boy.
All right. He says, me and my friends are going, must be nice, are going to Cuba in December. Woo!
Check in with Mr. Ortega Brown. Get all of that. His family is there. Check in with him.
And where was it? Where did you just come from? And this is with your school, right?
Jamaica, Cuba.
I mean, high school?
People, man. Mr. Dre's over there like, I don't remember that in high school.
I mean, congratulations. Getting to see the world.
We need to go back to high school now.
Cassidy. She says.
Cassidy.
Stand up, Cassidy. She's downstairs. I am always getting surprises on Friday because I am good at school. And she says, I love my sister. Exclamation point. Well, she's got 3, so
Come on.
Yes, Cassidy.
Don't y'all love the gratitude coming from our kids?
I know.
Our kids have learned to practice gratitude. Come on, man. Come on.
Okay,
on.
downstairs again, Deani, stand up.
Come on, Deani, stand up. Let everybody put spirit fingers on you.
I performed at Centennial Park for the Culture Fest yesterday.
Come on,
Woo! With dance,
She's
right?
a dancer. She's a dancer. She's a pure dancer.
Woo.
Proud mama.
Yes. Okay, Sister Nikita
And
Thomas,
now to the
please
source. Stand up, Keita, to the source of Yanni and Dre.
She says, my husband and I will be celebrating our 23rd wedding anniversary this week.
Yeah! Woo, woo, woo! Go, Keita.
23 years.
23 years.
Yes. Still going strong. Come on. now.
Number 23, that's the championship
That
year.
is championship. Come on now. Yes.
23 is the alley-oop, slam dunk 360.
Man.
We said what a blessing that
23
is,
years.
y'all. So, to see that. Every time we have some kind of anniversary in here, I know the Tego Brown celebrated 2 years recently.
Yes.
2 years to 23.
Yes.
To Jerome Morris and Mary Muse, who y'all would come back and forth with us, especially during COVID. They celebrated a week or so ago. They let me know they celebrated 31.
Woo!
So,
31
y'all
years.
are institutionalizing this thing. I think it's beautiful.
Man.
All right, so we got a couple in here. I'm just going to do a standing ovation shout out to, I'm going to have Thea stand up.
Woo!
She choreographed an international event with Shabazz Ujima that got pulled off. And while I noticed online that it was in the rain, they were there with the rain jackets on and still pulled it off. So shout out to you and Shabazz, Thea. Global event right in Nashville. Infinity folks at that. And we have a birthday person.
Yes. Joshy, stand up.
Joshua.
Josh's birthday was yesterday. He is 22, y'all.
22 years old. Don't they grow?
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. 22.
Can you believe 22?
In college. Yes, sir.
22 and in school.
Man, that baby. Now grew up.
And my greatest, I think my greatest feeling was waking up and coming downstairs the day before his birthday and hearing some tinkering. And sadly, we had a doorknob that was stuck, that entry in the place. And, that boy take after his daddy, I'll say that. I got him a toolkit for one of his birthday. I got him a, you get a toy toolkit, but I gave him a man toolkit, grown man toolkit. And that boy, he had disassembled the lock and was down there oiling the spring, and now the door works.
Now. We used to have to kick the door, honey. It was
so
like.
those y'all struggling with the young'uns, my daddy used to say, raise up a child and away it should go. When it gets old, it will not depart from its ways. So they grow old enough to do things for you.
Yes, sir.
What a blessing. What a blessing.
Sir.
And if you raise them in love, they'll gladly do things for you.
Yes, sir.
And if you raise them just in gratitude, maybe they'll pay for somebody else to do things for you. Amen. All right. If they can't do it themselves. All right, we got something in the box there.
They'll pay for it.
We had some, I tell you. As we get older, if you want to take care of us, if you love us enough, at least pay somebody to take care of us. Put a webcam on me and just say hello every day. I'm going to stop because somebody going to rewind this tape in 40 years.
Don't put me up in no facility.
Daddy, we're in Japan. You remember when you said just put a webcam?
No. Not mama.
Right,
No.
Right. Brother Tyrell Lindsley. Standing ovation. My father-in-law turned the big 5-6 this week, as well as my aunt-in-law. I had the privilege of helping him mow the lawn as a birthday gift.
One.
The power of virtue 7 lives on.
Yes.
Who remembers Virtue 7? Who can remember it? Oh, I know y'all. That's how I go study.
I was downstairs.
I always used to say it was the most important one.
downstairs.
Starts with freedom.
Freedom from resentment.
Freedom from resentment. I love it. Come on and talk now. That's healing, right? That's healing. Oh, we're going to get into that. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. I love it.
Happy birthday.
All right. I believe this is so for real. I think this is Rihanna. This is Rihanna. Rihanna just be making things happen. Rihanna says, I manifested meeting and dancing with Janelle Monáe on stage last night in New Orleans. It was a historic show. Rihanna does that. She's like, I'm going to see it. And what I see and focus on is going to happen. And that spotlight came on you, baby, and you did it. So how about it?
Wow. Is it online or
I'm sure it is. I'm sure somebody's got it on it. Y'all know when I don't get to go to concerts, I appreciate everybody that goes there. And yeah, because I just watch the whole concert. Either I get to Instagram or somebody's there showing how good the concert is. But the greatest part of that story is that Janelle Monáe got to dance with you.
Yes!
She will remember it for the rest of her life. I love it. Brother John has said here, awesome. Oh, see, look, I didn't even know. Y'all stand up so we can just let's show love, y'all. Johnny Sadler and his wife back there. They are still celebrating because they went out of town. And again, they came up from Mississippi, y'all, for service today. So we're going to love that. They're celebrating still 39 years of marriage. Woo! Shoot, man, I love
Can
it,
we
man.
say goals?
Can we
Yes,
say, man?
marriage goals.
Can we stay in there? Okay, I think we got everybody. Did we get everybody, Tony? Okay, great. All right, Mama, tell us what we did.
All right, so if you shared, you can have several seats while the rest of us are going to stand to our feet and give a thunderous standing ovation, okay? Here we go.
Oh, there we go. We're on. We're in. All right, y'all. So we're gonna give a message today. We're gonna sing a little bit first. Lady Kanitha's gonna help me out with this one, and y'all gonna help me out with this one too. Lady Kanitha, like what?
I don't know what song, but I would be right to
Would you believe me if I told you I didn't know what song? I do know that we talk about memory. We talk about aging, and we talk about old stuff and traditions. And one thing that came to me when I was meditating, I was quiet, I was listening and saying, well, God, what you want for this thing? What are we looking at as we transcend and figure out how to go forward in 2023 and 2024? Well, one thing that came to me was reminding people. And I just kept hearing that over and over again. We come into spiritual spaces where, we know that we are expanding. We know that we are growing. We know that all of the studies are saying that people are growing beyond the confines of traditional religion, that they are now moving into a space, an age of spirituality that is inclusive, that is exploratory, that is also, yes, based on history as well. But we also know in a couple of weeks I'm traveling up, I mentioned, to Delaware to speak with a conference of religious scholars, and we often have this conversation around the nuns. And the nuns are people who don't necessarily affiliate with one particular religion, but see the truth in a lot of them. There's a remarkable Associated Press story that did a very detailed story on this last week, and they also did this on different countries around the world. If you get a chance to unpack it and read it, it's very fascinating. But as people become enlightened, we also find that there's more isolation. And there's more isolation because people can't find a community. And they found that the places that keep people together are the people who tend to have the most harsh doctrine right now. The ones that tell you that if you don't show up on Sunday, you're going to hell. If you don't come on Wednesday night, you're going to hell. If you don't do this sacrament, if you don't do this ritual on a regular basis, then you are going to be damned for the rest of your life. There's no space there. So because of that, there's still the element of community. But because people don't want to feel alone, they feel that they may have to just subject themselves to the old way of thinking just so they can have people they can be around and trust. Just so their kids can see people. When we're in an environment where we have to send our kids into school systems sometimes, we have to send our kids into the world sometimes that does not respect or look up to them, that does not value them, then at least there's one place where they can come and have people look up to them. And so when we're grappling with these things, when we're moving into those things, we also have to deal with, well, how do we as a community, as Infinity, deal with this new way of thinking, this expanded way of thinking, without tossing the baby out with the bath water? And so for the rest of this year and going into the new year, we want to bring elements into this space that are musical and cultural so that we don't forget where we came from.
Sir.
So as we go, Sister Kenitha, we have music that has been coming through her. It's been coming through these conversations with people that is being birthed into the world. But I find the more I listen to it, the more I realize that we're connected to the traditions that came before us. And so when I got this vision, I said, let me put on my nice overalls today and be like my granddaddy, Thomas Hayes, and say, you know what? My mama told me a story one day that I hope to not repeat in this moment. Well, my granddaddy, Deacon Hayes, was sometimes singing at the beginning of the service at Providence Missionary Baptist Church down in Lato Seal, Alabama. And he was tasked, as deacons were back in those days, with leading something that they called devotional. See, you may have that background in the church where you understand devotion. And, you know, people now, I see it interestingly, I see devotion being shared by a lot of young people who have discovered old videos from the 80s and 90s. And they say things on TikTok like, where did this happen? And it's some deacons sitting down at the mourner's bench and they just singing them long metered hymns. And they say, I don't know what this is, but I wish I had some of this. And that's when the intersection said, you know what? We can't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yes.
So going forward, y'all, we're going to sing a little bit more.
Yes.
Going forward, we're going to bring a little bit more into this space. And it might be a long metered hymn. It may be a piece of gospel. It may be some blues. It may be a Sanskrit chant. It may be something that you hear from the Buddhist monks. But we also have to experience that vibrational space, while at the same time, we have to teach so that not only we are enlightened, but our young people have something. Because there was something that we had. When we think about our elders, I think about my mom. They would ask my mama to pray. And man, my mama would be at a community event. And my mama would just on the spurs. They say, oh, Mother Carr, can you come up and say a prayer? And Mother Carr would be around a whole bunch of different people. It was Buddhists up in that place. It was Muslims in that place. It was Christians in that place. It was Jewish folks in there. Man, my mama got through playing the Muslims and the Jewish, everybody was shouting. Even the meditating people was going in. I said, man, Because and again, nomenclature and language. We use words, we use language, but we recognize it's not the language because the language changes. We're speaking in a language right now that 400 years ago none of us knew. We're speaking in a language that 1,000 years ago was never even conceived of. So we always change the language, but spirit never changes. Spirit never changes. And my granddaddy on that one particular Sunday when my mother was a little girl, about the age of Cassidy or Yanni, my granddaddy had a wonderful, powerful voice that he left to his daughter, my mother, and all of them were singing this tradition. But this one particular Sunday, Brother Terrence, he started out in a key that was a little bit too high. And the kids knew it the minute he sang it out of his voice. I think the story is he knew it too, but maybe it was that pride that came from the fields. Being a little owner of these 5 little acres off of Steel Road, maybe it was something like that hubris that kept him going. But by the time he reached the second stanza, they say that he was cawing like a crow in the field. And my mother and her younger sister were leaned over on each other, doubled over laughing. And my grandmama was trying to calm them down. But at the same time, she recognized the humor herself. So she was stuck between a place of acknowledging that this was a place of spiritual decorum, but also realizing that thing was funny. So whatever drop is left in this cup, Thomas Hayes, make it so that I do not repeat that history today. Give me the spirit and not the key. We're gonna sing us a long metered hymn. It's one of my mama's favorites. I first heard it down in that country church, and I sat there like some of y'all might sit today and say, I don't know what the words are, and I don't know what the melody is. But one thing about those metered hymns, all you got to do is listen and participate. And I guarantee if you allow yourself to be lost in that moment, if you can simply close your eyes and feel that energy, then I hope you get something out of it. We're going to sing a long metered hymn. In the church, they call that's what scholars call the long metered hymn. The leader calls out what's coming, and it's called lining. Now, in the church, they didn't call it a long metered hymn. They called it after the person who was popularized by putting them into the space. They called it Dr. Watts. And we say I was singing one of them Dr. Watts. You didn't know what song it was going. You didn't know it was going to be a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify. You didn't know if it was going to be work on earth, might soon be done. But I'm telling you, if you have a chance to study these, and a chance to not just study them from an academic space, but to immerse yourself in the music of people who were dealing with struggle, found a way to work through anyway. I guarantee you will find that peace that passes all understanding. I love the Lord, He heard my cry. used to say, long as I live, long as I live, and trouble rise, long as I live. And I'll hasten to his throne. Son to his throne. Then they turned it within, they just moan. My. Yes. Leaving all the things that you dealt with in the moment. There is so much love. There is so much love. There is so much love for me. There is so much love. There is so much love. There is so much love for me. There Breath in. Exhale, release. Thank y'all. Y'all feel that? I feel like everybody do say, how y'all feel that? Real briefly, y'all, I just got to give y'all something that came during the early days of Infinity. Remember that first Sunday that we had in that studio there, that actor studio, there were some things that got revealed, and I just needed to bring a couple of things back, especially one topic, one message that Spirit told me to give you. And it's up on the screen, Tony. It's the message today. God told me to give you the finger. God told me to give you the finger. I got to give you the finger. I got to do it. It's just something about it. And you know, when I think about that and how it came down, at first I heard it. I said, what? I can't give my people the finger. I can't do that. But as I sat and listened, I realized that there was something a little bit more to this thing. And I thought about it more, and I was like, oh, I see. Oh, I got it. I hope as I share this with you all that y'all can understand this, because when we're talking about fingers are a beautiful thing. When I first started acting and I first started doing theater work, there were people who came to me. My agent at the time came to me and said, can you do print? And I said, what does that mean? They said, well, if you're not able to get a role on camera, sometimes they can take a picture of you and you can be on a billboard. Or maybe you'll be on the gas pump at the station, or maybe you'll end up being in a magazine, and this is a way that you can make extra income. And I said, well, yeah, any way that I can make extra income as a young actor, I will take that. I don't have to go out and paint any houses or cut the grass or clean toilets as I was known to do, to keep my artistic freedom at the time. And they said, well, can you do hand modeling? And I looked at my left hand and I said, only if you use my left hand, because my two fingers on my right hand have dark fingernails. And especially my middle finger has the darkest fingernails. Over the years, they've slightly gotten a little bit lighter. But when they first got dark, they were about the color of those seats that you're sitting in. And I'll tell you a story why. When I was just out of high school, I was working my way through college at Tennessee State University. I was working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and then I would go to class. And, you know, we didn't have scholarship back then. I barely made it into school. So I was determined that I was going to work my way into a space of success. And I used to get on the city bus, the MTA back in the day, and I would ride the bus everywhere I needed to go. So imagine my delight when my elder brother, Greg, allowed me to buy that junk Toyota off of him. That was his first car. He had upgraded to a little Ford. And this old Toyota was a dark blue Toyota with a raggedy roof on it that was a stick shift. It didn't have any working heat. There was a breeze that came through the floor, but it worked. And I prided myself that I got that little $500 together. That was a lot of money for me back then, and $500 at $3.45 an hour is a whole lot of money to save. But I was so glad to be able to peel off that $500 and have me a car. The car had its drawbacks. The gears worked pretty well. But there were two things about this car. Number one, it was missing a muffler. So I became known in my freshman year as the man who you could hear coming 2 miles away. That car was so loud that I'm surprised I don't have any long-term hearing loss from riding inside. The good thing is you really couldn't hear it inside. You just knew that when you pulled up and everybody had stopped wherever they were and were looking at you, that obviously they could hear it. But I learned to say, as long as it gets me from point A to point B, I got a car. Some of y'all walking. We had to go to the store, to the little parties. They say, well, we can ride with Jeff. I say, he got that loud car. I said, well, y'all can ride with me or y'all can walk, whichever one it is. So people would ride in that little car. But the other thing about it is it had a door that stuck. The mechanism stuck. So it had to be slammed extremely hard to close. So I found myself, when I got out of the car, I had to wrestle and stand and grab the door, open it all the way I could, and then swing it with both hands at least 2 or 3 times to get it to catch. But you know, I wandered onto the campus of Tennessee State University, and as a young man who had been in a primarily minority and a majority environment all my life, I had not an idea of the plethora of beautiful sisters at an HBCU that would appear seemingly out of nowhere. I was in heaven. They were all over. I didn't see none, Mike, like that in high school. I was just like everywhere I looked. So I was excited. That summer I had grown from my 5'6" to my now 6'2" frame. My voice had gone from Michael Jackson to a little closer to Barry White. And the only thing I had, in addition to halfway straight teeth, was a raggedy car that was holding me back. But I figured that if I could get somebody to go out with me in a raggedy car, then it must not be the car. It must be the personality. So I would tell myself this, but it was still hard to drive up on 3500 John A. Merritt Boulevard at 7:30 in the morning and get out of a raggedy loud car. So I practiced how to be smooth and shut the door without having to. I found a way. At one point, I made it so I could grab the door, and when nobody was looking, I could slam the door and spin around, and by the time they heard that loud noise, I would have my hand right there on the edge. I was so good at it. And I was even quicker, T, than I am now, because I was a lot younger. That thing was so smooth, you didn't even notice it. You could look over and be like, oh, that's car. Then you hear clunk, and you look back, and I'm right like I just appeared outside the car. True story. This one morning, true story. This one morning, I got out the car, and it was like this whole group, this massive group. I don't know if they had been in a sorority. I don't know if they were going to some event together. I don't know if it was a women's conference, but it was a whole flock of them. I turned onto the block there and parked on the side of the street when you could park there toward the entrance of the school. Didn't need a permit. And I drove up, and they all kind of looked over, because I know they heard me. But I got past them, and I was able to cut the car off. And I was halfway dressed decent that day. And I said, well, if I can just get out of the car and be smooth right before the time they walk by, then I'm going to be all right. And I timed it so that I got out of the car, and just as most of them were walking around, I hit my spin move, shut the door, and I wasn't looking at my left hand. How about that was a one time that door caught on the first try with my 2 fingers inside. And of course, being Joshua, the young 19-year-old Dre that I was, I managed to force a smile and look really smooth. As I heard 2 separate living beings screaming for their lives attached to the nerve endings on my right hand. When they passed, I finally was able to get the door open, and the only thing that I thought that I could ever put close to it was later on a scene that I swear I thought they stole from me in the film I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, when the character said I had bad feet and they finally showed his feet and they were 2 globbing light bulbs. Those 2 things on my skinny little finger. I'm narrow now, but I was 45 pounds lighter than I was now. So I could slide through the crack in the door. I could run and slide under the door. That's how slim I was, because I'm looking then at my 2 fingers and they look like 2 lollipops. Little thin, slick, and 2 big balls there, and they were just talking, and they were speaking the language of Charlie Brown's teacher. All I heard was wah 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 wah. It was endless love. 2 hearts that beat as one. I made my way to the sub there. There's a little kind lady who used to operate the grill. She gave me a bag of ice and put that on there. And a few days later, the swelling went down, but the 2 nails were the color of those chairs. And And they stayed that way for a while. And they started to fade after about a year and a half. But I still could work my hands. And then something strange happened. I said, I see some healing. I see the melanin coming back in my hand. I see everything start to come back. And then I was pledging one night, and we were down in a hole, and we were on this old place in Boyd Hall where these old metal desks were, and people were trying to find a place to hide these bricks that they made us carry when we were online pledging the fraternity. And there was this old metal desk, and somebody said, we can't get in. And I said, well, let me try this. And I reached to pull out the desk drawer, and there was a top desk in these old insurance salesman desks. They were all metal, and you would pull it out and it would add an extension to the desk. I did not know this prior, but I sure did learn. I pulled that, and the spring shot up, them 2 fingers again. I thought it was time, Keita, to lock me up. Because this time, instead of that smile with that tear, that one tear going down that I had before, this time I just started maniacally laughing. There was so much pain, I didn't have any choice. I just, then when my brothers helped me get my hand out of the desk, I'm just laughing. They say, you all right? My life is ruined. Inner monologue. I'll never be the same. What is wrong with me? And so since that day, they never came back to their full coloration. So when it was time for me, there were times as I was a young man, I was always conscious of my hands. Sometimes if you can find me in the background of an old movie like Ernest Goes to Jail, or one of my first things up against the wall, you find me in there. I may have been in there, but you may have seen my hand in my pocket because I was a little conscious of that. If you see, even in the movie Second Chance, I'm eating with my hand. I'm eating primarily with my left hand because the camera is so close on me. And I'm like, I don't want to put my fingers on there. But I had to learn to live with my dark fingers. I wash my hands. My hands are clean. But I had to learn to give thanks to survive the trauma. You see, those were 2 traumatic experiences that left a lasting impression. Something that I had to look at every single day. But I learned to celebrate some things that I could still, if I had a grip on something, I could release with both my hands equally. I had to learn that I could hold on. If I needed to grip something, I needed to do that. I could hold on with both hands equally. I could also point each one of the digits on my hand equally. And that's the message when I give you the finger today. And that is that sometimes we experience trauma in our lives that don't happen one time, but it happens multiple times, to the point where it realistically leaves a scar, y'all. Some of us have been scarred by bad relationships. And even when we didn't do it to ourselves, we spend ourselves time asking our question, why did I allow myself to get into that? And those scars make us look at the next relationship through the lens of that which has been darkened. We see through a glass darkly. We see based off our trauma sometimes. And when we do, we become, if we're not filtering it correctly, ashamed of our trauma. We become ashamed of the scars that our trauma has left us. We begin to live in the traumatic incident, and when we do that, we miss out on the message that through the trauma, we're still here anyway. That's the saying that I don't look like what I've been through. None of y'all look like what you've been through. I guarantee you can pick something, you can find something in your world that threatened to cripple you, that threatened to break you, that threatened to maim you. And although it left a mark, it didn't destroy your ability to thrive. Because guess what? When we're talking about our hands and we're getting a hand on our spirituality and who we are, guess what? We have the opportunity to let things go still. Today, no matter what trauma you've been through, no matter what self-doubt you've been through, no matter what unsurety you've been through, give thanks that the power of these hands is the power to let go of things. Sometimes we work so hard to hold on that we don't realize that we have the power to let go. When we are struggling with something, sometimes the best thing to do is to let go. If you didn't do well in that last relationship, let go of it. If you didn't do great in that last business deal, let go of it. If that piece of music that you put together was not up to your satisfaction, let go of it. Because when you let go, you have an opportunity to choose what you want to hold on to. See, that second gift that you have is the ability to hold on. And when you find something, when you find somebody, when you find some people who get you, when you find an idea that begins to produce fruit in your life, you have the ability to hold on to it tight and to value it. So hold on when things are difficult. The last thing that I say before we sit down here is control your digits. If you ever get down this week, you just wiggle your finger. Everybody here do some spirit fingers for me. See, look at that. At home, everybody got spirit fingers. Y'all got the ability to do spirit fingers. Now, I ain't going to ask you to do the rest of this with me because I got to give you every one of the fingers now. Some of y'all might not be ready for them. But what you have when you decide to move past the trauma, even the trauma that has scarred you repeatedly, even the doubt that has been placed in your mind, you have the ability to see your hand as a metaphor for what your spirit is. You have the opportunity to point in a direction that you want to go because you get what you are fixated on. Reverend Eicher and Cotter, we know as Reverend Ike said, you get what you're fascinated with. If you're fascinated with poverty, you're going to get it. If you're fascinated with disease, you're going to get it. But what if you're fascinated with healing? Yeah. What if you're fascinated with creating? What if you're fascinated with being positive? What if you're fascinated and know that you are going to succeed regardless of what anybody says, regardless of what trauma is pointed out? You get to point in the direction that you want. That's right. You also get to move to the next figure and say, to hell with doubt. Give them a double Tupac. To hell with criticism. To hell with people trying to hold me down. To hell with myself, being so hard on myself that when I look in the mirror, I see something that is bad as opposed to something that is a divine reflection of God. To hell with the negative thinking. To hell with the lack of confidence. To hell with the stack of obstacles that people put in front of me. Okay. I'm going to find a way to work this through. I'm a Tennessee State University football fan. When people say, who's your college team? You like Alabama? I say, I like Tennessee State. Oh, I know, but I mean, you know, when we get in the championship series, I like Tennessee State. Y'all like Jackson State? I like Tennessee State. And I like beating Jackson State. Sorry, Mississippi, I love y'all, but I love. Y'all like Colorado? I like Tennessee State. Come on now. Does Colorado like me? Because you ain't going to find nobody that went to University of Alabama talking about, yeah, go Fisk. They ain't doing it. That's right. So I'm true to my team because I know about the big blue. And yet I love to recognize excellence. So there are times when I saw Colorado down yesterday that I recognize excellence. And I recognize the excellence that is handed down generationally when someone like a Deion Sanders can hand down to his son as a quarterback who may be doubted by every person who comments, who's looking for some time for this boy to fail in his first year. They are always criticizing. I love every time he throws a strike. And he did something that showed that if he was somebody else, they would have said he was one of the most brilliant college quarterbacks we've ever seen. He was on a comeback trail trying to win something in 95 seconds. They did win the game, but it was one particular play that I saw, and I said, this kid right here, he decided the other team was trying to bully them, hitting them extra hard, sacking him, coming at him all the time. He, in 2 plays, changed the game. The first play, he spread the field out with receivers. Then, instead of throwing, he tucked and he ran it through the opening. And he ran it when he was met with the opposition. He tucked his shoulder and bowled into the guy. Quarterbacks ain't supposed to do that. They're supposed to protect themselves, D. But he squatted, he lowered his shoulder, and he bowled into the guy. Got up with bravado, went right back to the line. Then he hiked the ball again, ran a similar play, ran back toward the dudes. Then he slid at the last minute. The guys couldn't stop themselves. They hit him and got a penalty. I said, oh, what a brilliant fake.
Set him up. Yeah.
Then went to the touchdown. That's because a quarterback points the direction. You need to learn how to read the defense. So regardless of what is stacked against you, when you are thinking, you get to point the way. You get to say, forget the opposition. But the third thing it takes is that third finger. That's commitment. That's why you commit to things. In traditional societies, we put a ring on that finger. What are you going to commit to? Will you commit to holding on to those dreams even beyond the circumstance? Will you commit to allowing yourself to love the people around you that believe in you, even when it's sometimes difficult? It doesn't mean that you always have to like them.
Come on now. Come on.
I saw somebody made a comment yesterday. I had to bust out laughing. It said, listen, you can free up your time. It was a Verizon commercial. I'm not endorsing Verizon. I'm just saying I think it was a Verizon. It was a good commercial. It said, free up your time so you can spend some time with your family or with people you like. I'll let that sink in. So sometimes family is blood. And sometimes family is loyalty. Right? But you have to commit to something. Commit to community because it reminds you. Isn't it great when you come in this space, you get reminded of what it's like to be? This is the reminder of the good. When you recognize through commitment, the good is the space that you naturally exist in. Everything else is the distraction. When you recognize that, you get that final pinky finger. You get that pinky finger. That means that you walk through this place with grace. You walk through this space recognizing that when everything is going crazy around me, that doesn't mean that I have to lower myself to that negative vibration. That means that I might be in a job right now that I may not love for the rest of my life, but I know that this ain't the rest of my life. I know that I'm just here for a short time collecting the information, collecting the knowledge, collecting the wisdom that's going to make me into the success that I'm supposed to be on my dreams. And so when everything is going wrong and people are complaining about everything that's happening, I'm walking through with grace because this is only a temporary moment for me anyway. And when the bills are stacking up on the things that I am working on the things that I do own, I recognize that just like the market jumps up and down, if I stay steady, the people who are the steady investors get the long-term return. And the people who recognize that this is changing, but my vision and my heart is not, those are the people who walk through with grace. Walk through with grace, y'all.
Yeah.
And y'all thought I forgot the final finger, but I didn't. It's without this finger that you can't get anything else done. Ain't it something just like when people say, oh, he had a case of turf toe, why can't he just run? Well, the toe on the foot, that big toe is the anchor for the entire rest of the foot. Something goes wrong with that toe, you can't get balance right. Guess what? You can't get a full grip without your thumb. So I'm telling you, as I give you the finger and sit down, get a grip on life by recognizing that your thumb is telling you to stay encouraged. It's all good.
Yeah.
When a politician scores a victory, it's thumbs up. When the game is over and they won, it's thumbs up all around. When you're walking through the world today and you see somebody does something good, you always stop them. If you've ever been in a space where you've done something in a space that is good and people can't get to you, when you're operating in a spirit of gratitude, people may not say anything to you. You may have said something that has made people uncomfortable. You may have done something that is thinking about the future. We're here working on the future, y'all. There are things that we're building in this space that are not manifest in the rest of the world yet. And so because of that, people will think it's strange. People will think it's odd. People will say, how can you do that? But you will scan the crowd and you may not find a friendly face, but you will find someone in a like vibration and you'll just catch their eye and they'll go. And that will be enough. So I'm daring y'all this week to be that person. I'm daring you to catch somebody who's having a long, hard day at work. who may have slung so much chicken and coffee and slung so many plates that they ain't getting any recognition for anybody. I dare you to just catch their eye and say, and watch what it does. And more than that, instead of sharing just that love, when you get up in the morning, when you get ready for bed tonight, the next time you see your beautiful face in the mirror, give yourself 2 fingers. Say, job well done. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Ashe? Ashe. All right, y'all. Let's stand to our feet for a minute and seal this in permanent prayer. Give thanks in this moment. Go ahead and place your hands over your heart there and just feel the light love coming into your body. Feel those hands over your heart, those fingers. And just think on these things. Meditate on this space of love. Meditate on this space of gratitude and recognize that you have all you need. All your needs are met. And as we're in this space, God, we thank you that all our needs are met. We have the ability to shine our lights, not only for ourselves, but for those around us. Thank you for the gift of family. Thank you for the gift of commitment. Point the way with us as we join with you corporately in speaking our success in purpose. We speak ease in the path of releasing those things that no longer serve us as we grasp tighter those things that are important indeed. We thank you for this commitment that we make to you right now to do exactly what we agreed to when we came into these earth suits. We agreed to shine. We agreed to represent you in this world. We agreed to show your love to others and to walk in that light. Help us to do it with grace. Help us to continue to encourage one another as we move through this world this week. We thank you. We speak these things and pronounce them in gratitude. And for somebody who is listening now, who is grappling with an issue of health, let them know that everything's going to be all right. Let them know that we get what we focus on, and we're not focusing on that pain right now. We're not focusing on that diagnosis right now. We're not focusing on that trajectory that somebody else gave us right now. We're focusing on healing. We're focusing. That pain is the body moving the weakness away. So we proclaim that goodness in the mind as well, and ultimately in the spirit. We proclaim and know these things to be true, and we give thanks, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Ashe. All right, rub those hands together, and we're just going to sling some light around the room to those in love. We're going to sling it around with some spirit fingers. I get tickled when this energy comes up, y'all. I can't help it, and I don't apologize. 1, 2, 3. Now give somebody a thumbs up. Oh, that's the way it goes. Give the universe a round of applause, y'all. We had a good one today. Anniversary! Grab somebody's hand if you're able. As we begin to move from this place, just swing from side to side. We got this here that we're going to swing from side to side. There we go. Awesome. As we leave this world of infinity, the confines of the walls, move into a world that awaits our light. We'll give a shout out to Brother Tony, Brother Daniel back there on the tech staff, making sure that we got a great stream today. Sister Angie, Brother Treese on our sanctuary engineering. Lady Kanitha's downstairs with the youth power zone. Y'all go get those kids. She's done a great job with them and double duty and everywhere. Sister Alicia, everybody who has contributed to the program today. What an awesome way. As we close out, let us sing our song together as our hearts and minds are clear in the space. If today's a brighter day, we are on our way. Oh, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's the day. God's reminding me to look at you and see family. Family that you like, too. Ain't it good? Come on, let's sing that thing. If today's a brighter day and we are on our way, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's a day that God's reminding me to look at you and see family. God's reminding me to look at you and see family. Oh, God is reminding me, God's reminding me to look at you and see family. We speak that the love of God, the wisdom of the ancestors, the infinite and abundant power of the universe rest, rule, rock, and abide with you henceforth, now and forevermore. Let us sing together. Amen, amen, hotep shalom, namaste, ashe. Go forth in peace and love this week, y'all. Give somebody the thumbs up, especially yourself. Join us next week in person, homecoming. We're going to have a good one, y'all. We love you. That's a fact you cannot change. See you soon.